Hi everybody, I'm Todd Banner. Welcome to my channel. Well, AI imaging has been in the news for quite some time now. This AI generated images has caused kind of a big hullabaloo in the creative community, I would say. But the thing about AI images is that they have to be trained. I mean, the AI image generators have to be trained on actual existing images, existing photographs, existing art, in order to generate AI images. So there's a big controversy, of course, right now about is the training, because the way they do training is with bots going, through the internet and finding images to train AI on. And there are ways to keep that from happening. You can set things that says do not do this on your website. But of course, that's depending on people being honest and actually not doing that when you request that they don't. So as we all know, plenty of people tend to not be that honest. Plenty of companies tend to be not that honest. And the latest thing right now is that the CEO of one of the large social media conglomerates, Meta, which includes Instagram and Facebook, is saying that they have the right to use any image that you upload to those platforms for AI training. So what are you going to do? Well, I mean, you could just stop uploading images, and a lot of people probably aren't going to do that. And maybe a lot of people, maybe most people, aren't going to care if their images are used for AI training. But what if you do care? Well, turns out there is a countermeasure available, courtesy of researchers at the University of Chicago, right here in my neck of the woods. It's actually an institution that I'm very well acquainted with because I have been in many, many of the buildings there in my former lab sales career. Anyway, they came up with this software called Nightshade. And actually, they had a previous software called Glaze. But Nightshade is an advancement because what Nightshade does is it actually alters an image to make the AI trainer think that it's not an image of what it actually is. And this, to me, was quite intriguing. So the nice thing about it is a free download. So I will put the link to where you can download Nightshade down in the description. And I'm also going to show you, because I did this, downloaded it, installed it on my M2 Mac Mini, and tried it out. So I'm going to demonstrate for you how it works. It's really simple, and what kind of results you get from it. And there is an issue that you're going to see in the images that I show. So without further ado, here is that demonstration. Here is Nightshade. This is the program screen. Also, I'm showing a little piece of the folder that I'm going to work on here. This is Rex, our house panther, as they call black cats. I already did one of these, and I did it at the default setting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another render. But instead of the default setting, I'm going to use a lower strength because, as I'll show you, there's some artifacting that you can see at the default setting. So we have selected that image. Now, if you look here, we've selected that image. If you look over here to the right, it says, what is a single word describing the key content of this image? We will auto-detect it and suggest a single word tag below. Please overwrite it if it's incorrect or too general. Text should be in the metadata or alt text describing the image when posted online. This field is only customizable if you are doing one single image rather than batch processing. So it correctly identified this as a cat. So here we have the intensity settings. I'm going to run this down to low. And then down here we have render quality. So the time spent rendering gives you, the longer time you spend, the stronger the poison is. So I'm just going to keep it at medium. And these estimates as far as how long it takes, I don't know what computer they're thinking people are running it on, but this M2 Mac Mini, it's got 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's going to do it much, much quicker than that. And then what we do is hit Save As. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the same folder. And we're going to go ahead and run Nightshade. One thing is when I actually stopped recording, but when I started, it had the time here as being 4 minutes and 33 seconds. So it is taking some time, but it's not a crazy amount of time. So here is Rex, and this is the non-modified image. We're going to zoom in here on his shoulder area because this is an area where I noticed that there's an artifact that you can see after you've run it through Nightshade. And this is an image having been run through Nightshade at the default intensity and medium render quality. And zooming in, if you look at the shoulder area, you see in his fur, it looks like there's like little polygons. So that's a little disconcerting. Okay, so next I wanted to see what would happen if I turned the intensity down to low but kept the render quality at medium. And as you can see, yeah, there's still some artifacting there. So next I tried low intensity with faster render quality and still some artifacting in that fur. Okay, so that is Nightshade. That is how it works. And obviously, if you use this, even if you turn it down, and as far as its intensity is concerned or its render time is concerned, you, at least with this cat image, and admittedly this is early, I have not used it on other images, but I thought this would be a good test. And pretty obvious artifacts in Rex's fur. So what are my thoughts on this? Well, because it acts as a poison, I don't feel that every image we upload needs to have it done, because it's gonna mess with the algorithm, the AI algorithm, on identifying what something is in any case. And the problem that I see is in social media, it doesn't matter. I mean, I am going to start using it in in the fastest setting for images that I put on social media. And with the one thing that you got to bear in mind is you have to put a tag if you're doing this with single images, and you generate a tag that identifies what that is. You need to put it in the alt text field. If you're using WordPress, it's pretty easy to in images you get a whole way of entering alt text for your images, and all other website creation software platforms have that available to you, and you can do it in Instagram after you have uploaded the image. If you go to edit on a mobile device, I don't think it works on a desktop, but if you do it on a mobile device and hit edit, you will see in a corner of the image edit alt text. So you can put the tag in there. However, if you are uploading images to a print-on-demand site, or you are selling prints off of your own website, you obviously are going to have to be careful with this. With a site like Fine Art America, you're not going to want to do it because there's no way to separate the image that's being displayed as being the altered image and then printing from a unaltered image for your customers. At least not to my knowledge. If I'm wrong on that, I'm sure somebody will correct me. On web design platforms, I mean, our business, we use WordPress. But of course, a lot of people use Squarespace. That's probably why you will never see a Squarespace ad should I get to that point here. Being not familiar with every one of these content managers, I don't know if there are ways to get around this problem of you're displaying an image that has been messed with, but you want to print and fulfill the order with an unaltered image. So that's my main concern. And of course, the other thing that is concerning is, of course, the folks behind AI generation are not going to take this sitting down. So I would imagine they're going to try to implement countermeasures against this. And so we may end up with like an arms race, Nightshade being altered to get around the countermeasures. I am not an expert in this, so it kind of depends on how easy it is for AI generator companies altering things to get around this poison. The link to download Nightshade is in the description. It would be pretty cool if people would go ahead and download it and try it with their images and maybe start giving us all examples of other types of images. I'm going to play around with it as well. If I see anything more that's interesting, I'll do another video on that. So anyway, if this was useful to you, helpful, please bop that thumbs up button. It's a big help to me. If you want to hit that little bell so you know when I put up new videos, that'd be great. Always appreciate new subscribers. And if you have any questions or comments, of course, leave them down below. I try to get to those as soon as possible. Sometimes it might take me a couple days depending on how busy things are here, but I do try to respond. That's it for now. I'm Todd Banner. I'll see you in the next video.